Hello, everyone. I'm Mayor Kennedy O'Brien of Sayreville, and I want to welcome you to Conversations with Kennedy. I'm Kennedy O'Brien. I'm the mayor of Sayreville, New Jersey, and thank you for joining us on Conversations with Kennedy. Today's guest is our Chief of Police, Chief Plumacher, and we're going to be discussing relevant topics to our town. Chief, if you would, if we could start off on the traffic, managing our ever-growing traffic issues here in Sayreville.
Yeah, absolutely. So glad to join you today, Mayor, for Conversations with Kennedy. So obviously traffic is always a hot topic around town, right? I think it really came to light for us as a traffic issue with the closure of Minnesink Avenue in conjunction with the work on Main Street, as well as the closure on Journey Mill Road for the work being done there. So as we all know, when that was taking place, the traffic on Ernston and Washington, particularly in our morning rush, became a problem. It was highly congested, and we became aware of that very, very quickly. So to address that issue immediately, we sought to do was send an officer out to the traffic control device there at Ernston and Washington Road. The purpose of that was to have the officer able to manually control the light if the need arose to continue the flow of traffic. So we stationed an officer there during that closure period. In addition, in conversations with our traffic safety division, we identified the crosswalk at Kennedy Park, sometimes causing a backup in the flow of traffic. So we do have a crossing guard stationed at Kennedy Park there for crossing the students in the morning. So one of the issues in speaking to the crossing guard is sometimes our students don't want to wait, or maybe a little impatient and want to get to school, so they don't always wait for the crossing guard to corral all of them up or a good group of them up before stepping into traffic and disrupting the flow. And as the crossing guard told us, sometimes they would want to get across the road and she has to stop traffic. So said she would be stopping traffic every 2 to 3 cars, and that obviously is going to slow the flow of traffic down. So we sent a uniformed officer over there, met with the crossing guard. The uniformed officer stayed on site while some of the students were arriving to school, and the officer assisted in corralling a good group of students before stepping into the flow of traffic. So as opposed to stopping traffic every 2 to 3, 4 cars, it was every 20 or so cars. What that did was increase the flow. So those are some of the steps we took to mitigate that traffic issue over there. Again, I think one of the other problems that arose or that we identified from that situation was the multiple significant road closures all at once. Mm-hmm. I know that's something on your radar, and I know your policy advisory committee, including the residents, I think that is going to be something that's going to be important. So moving forward, we don't really have such main roads closed all at the same time, which clearly affect traffic.
Chief, have your units looked? One of the impediments of traveling Washington Road in the morning, particularly if you're going west, is the parents dropping off the kids at the middle school, which can certainly impede traffic. Is that under review?
Yeah, we're currently reviewing the drop-off there. It definitely impacts the flow of traffic. There's a significant number of parents dropping their children off at the school there, and in doing so, stopping to make particularly the left, like you said, into the school there if they're heading westbound. It takes a little bit for traffic to let them through, and at the same time, while they're stopped, it's backing up behind them as well. So yes, it's something that's on our radar. Our traffic safety supervisor, Sergeant Brian Burrell, is aware of this. Mm-hmm. It's something we're monitoring and trying to find a best solution that will kind of alleviate that issue right there.
Great news, Chief. Just to fill everybody in, I have a policy group of volunteers, and I've asked them to work on this process where I need a policy when we have municipal roads and we have county roads. I have the needs of the police, the needs of the water department, the sewage department, and at any one time we can have multiple entities with authority closing roads. I've asked them to come up with a policy so that if one of our three roads that travel east-west, which is Main Street, Washington Road, and Bordentown, is closed, then we can have a north-south road closed, like Cheesequake, like Journey Mill, like Ernston, for any reason. We can't have it closed for repair to the water lines, the sewer lines. we need to do it so that we can circulate the traffic around the borough. The chief most certainly has his representative on it. I have people from our engineering and our water departments so that it's coordinated. I've asked residents to do this because they're really the only ones with the issue of getting to where they need to get to. And they don't have engineering issues, they don't have police issues, they just have resident issues. And that's what I wanted, was that would be the priority on this policy. So, Chief, I really thank you for working with the group on this, and hopefully we'll get some good working solutions for you.
I agree. I think it's a great idea to get everybody at the table there to make sure we don't impede the traffic as best we can.
Yeah.
Some other areas I think we should just touch on real quick that we are getting questions about is the paving project for Main Street, where the trolley tracks were torn up between Bright and Brookside Avenue.
Yep.
It's a little rough right now, we understand. However, that is going to be finished. There's going to be a final layer of asphalt placed there, probably in the early spring as the warmer weather approaches. So I would anticipate in the next several weeks. To the best of my knowledge, I don't believe that's going to be a full closure there. As they pave, it should take it down to one lane with alternating traffic. The same goes for Minnesink Avenue. That is also supposed to be paved, the final layer of asphalt again when the warm weather gets here. And same thing there as well. It should be taken down to one lane, so it's not supposed to be another hard closure. Again, all this is subject to change, but that's what we're being told right now. The other issue that's come up, it's come to our attention. We received some complaints regarding the new traffic light that's been installed at Bordentown and Cheesequake Road there. So one of the issues that has been identified is if you're on Cheesequake Road looking to make a left turn onto Bordentown Avenue, the traffic light right there, it doesn't signal green long enough to allow vehicles to make the left turn. It's apparently really short. So we're going to take a look at it. We're going to see if the timing at the light is correct. If it's not, if we feel it's not set properly, we'll reach out and have that adjusted so it makes the traffic flow much better through that intersection.
One of the things that's new is a Facebook site called Residents of Laurel Park, and they put in some good suggestions, the occasional complaint, but it's meant to be proactive, and it's meant to lead to inform and hopefully lead to some practical solutions. That being said, Chief, we had a break-in at the pharmacy on Main Street. Middle of the night, and from what I really wasn't that aware anymore. Maybe I watched the wrong TV shows, but you were chasing the suspects down the Parkway.
We spotted suspect vehicles fleeing the scene that we believe were involved in the burglary there. They did enter the Parkway North entrance off of Main Street. A patrol vehicle saw them enter the Parkway. They accelerated at an extremely high rate of speed where it became unsafe to pursue any further. And that time, in the interest of public safety, we terminated that pursuit.
So the general public knows, because they're more now than at any time in my life, you're working under very specific rules of engagement. And whereas there was a time where you could pursue at any rate of speed, and they'll see that with the California's roll. I don't even know what they call it, where the patrol car will
a pit maneuver, they call it.
Pit maneuver. Is that allowed in New Jersey?
No. There's the Attorney General puts out specific guidelines on what you can and cannot do.
Could you explain that for the general public so they understand the difficulties of your job and how well you do it?
So the Attorney General is the supreme law enforcement entity within the state of New Jersey. They promulgate guidelines that we are all bound by. Some of them pertain to pursuits and what you can do during a pursuit, and also some of the criteria that allows an officer to pursue a violator. Pit maneuvers, things of that nature, any contact with a suspect vehicle, none of that is allowed in New Jersey. It's very limited circumstances where something like that could take place. With our pharmacy burglary, definitely didn't rise to that criteria. The same thing with the authorization to pursue. It's heavily monitored by supervisors as well. Anytime an officer feels the need to pursue a vehicle, the crime has been committed in their presence, they need to get verbal confirmation from the station commander, one of our working supervisors, whether or not they can pursue or not. And pursuits are really limited as to when you can pursue. And for the pharmacy burglary, it didn't meet the criteria to pursue. The risk didn't outweigh the need to pursue the violators.
I, for one, and I've worked with the Saraville Police Department for over 20 years. As the mayor is, you do an exceptional job under extraordinary circumstances. And as I tell people, I'll get 100 letters about the police department, and 98 of them will be complimentary. And the people of Saraville think you're terrific.
We appreciate that, Mayor. We truly do.
Well, Chief, I'm looking forward to our next chat, and I thank you for this one. And job well done. If you'd pass that along to the men and women of the Saraville Police Department.
Will do, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.